Hello and welcome to today's lesson. We are going to be carrying on from last week's work, looking at some crotchets, some pairs of quavers, which was our rice and our naan bread, and this week we're going to be looking out for the squiggly rest, which looks a little bit like this. And when we see the rest, that's just a little bit of silence in the music, and we're just going to show some empty hands like that to show us that there's nothing there. So if we look at today's rhythm grid, again, we've got 4 lines to look at. So I'd like you just to look at the top line with me. We'll do this all together because it's the same as last week. Nice and easy. So we'll just say the words for rice and naan bread with our top line all together. Off we go, rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Fantastic. And then line 2, you can see at the end of line 2, we've got our little squiggle, which is going to be our empty beat, or our rest, or a little bit of silence, which is going to look and sound like this. Let's have a go at that. So this is line 2. Off we go. Naan bread, rice. Let's try that one again. Off we go. Naan bread, rice. So we can see that line 3 doesn't have any rest in it at all, so there aren't any traps for us to fall in with that one. Let's skip straight on to the final line now. Line 4, which does have a rest at the end of it, so look out for that one. So here comes line 4. Off we go, rice, naan bread, rice. Okay, let's see if we can read that from top to bottom using our rice and our naan breads, and also looking out for the rests. Okay, all together. Off we go, rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Very good. And you might be able to tell I was feeling a little bit of a pulse there when I was reading my rhythms. I was doing it by doing a little bit of a dance, but this time I'm going to see if I can keep the pulse in my hands. Put my pulse potatoes over here next to my head. And that's going to help me stay in time with the music. This is going to be the heartbeat of the music that's going to carry on regardless. So see if you can get your pulse potatoes joining in exactly the same tempo or the same speed as mine. And we're going to read from the top again. Ready, steady, off we go. Rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Fantastic. Okay. The next thing we'll try doing is seeing if we can clap along with those rhythms as well. So we're going to say the rhythms and clap them at the same time. And we're going to go at a slightly faster tempo this time. Okay, ready, steady, off we go. Rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Fantastic. Okay, now it's time for our quiz. And this is the one where I choose one of the 4 lines and I'm going to play it for you. Try it with the words to start with. So I'm going to clap it and say the words. And for example, if you think I have clapped and spoken the rhythm for line 3, then you can show me your answer like this. That's my secret silent salute if you don't want anyone else to know it. Or you can just, if you're on your own at home, you can just shout out number 3. Okay, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. Let me see which one we're going to do first. Rice, naan bread, rice. Here it comes again. Can you tell me which one that was? If you've chosen number 4, then you are right. Well done. Okay, here comes another one. Same one again. Can you tell me which line that was? Was it line 1, 2, 3, or 4? It was line number 3. Fantastic. Okay. Next thing we'll have a go at is choosing a line to repeat over and over again to make it into our repeating pattern Anybody remember from last week's lesson what we called our repeating pattern? Goes round and round, and I'm drawing the first letter of the answer in the air. It was an ostinato. Okay. I think line 3 might work quite well as an ostinato. So see if you can join in with me, just clapping line 3 round and round. Naan bread rice, naan bread rice. Very good. I'm wondering if we can make that a little bit more complicated now. So I'm going to try doing the naan breads on my legs, on my lap that you can't see. And I'm going to keep the rice on the claps. So it's going to go naan bread rice, round and round like that. Okay, so if I start off doing that ostinato, and then when I say, I want to see if we can all either clap or say the words, or do both. We're going to all join in and read the rhythm from the top to the bottom of the whole grid at the same time as this ostinato is going on. Okay, so here comes my ostinato. I'm feeling that pulse underneath the music all the time. And here we go for reading from the top. Ready, steady, off we go. Rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice, naan bread, rice, rice, naan bread, rice. I'm going to try that again. If you want to see how tricky that was, you can try doing it yourself. So I was doing naan bread, rice, line 3 round and round, and then trying to read all the other things on top to help you. Let's give it one more go. You were probably fantastic, but I'm getting a little bit old, so I struggled a little bit with it. So here we go again. Why don't I choose a slower tempo? That might make it easier for me. Okay, so here's my ostinato, and I want to see if we can all read the rhythm together without any mistakes this time, Mr. Charles. Ready, steady, off we go. Rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice. Rice, naan bread, rice. Yes. Got it right eventually. And that's a good lesson for everybody to learn, me especially, that if things are going to be a little bit tricky to start with, it's always a good idea to try it again at a slower tempo. Gives me a little bit more time to think about what's coming up next. Okay, I think it's time to swap jobs. I would like you all to do the ostinato, so I'm going to start it off again. And I'm going to see if you can keep going at the same tempo or speed, maintaining a constant pulse all the time. And I'm going to see if I can clap the rhythms on top. Okay, and we'll see if we can meet each other at the end. So if you listen out for, I think line 3 is the easiest one because we're doing exactly the same thing. And then when I clap line 4, it's the kind of opposite to what you're going to be doing with your ostinato. That's when it got a bit confusing for me. Okay, so I'll get you going to start with. If you can just keep this going. Okay, and here I come clapping. Ready, steady, keep going. Off I go. How did you do? Did you manage to keep your ostinato going all the way through? I hope so. Okay, I like the idea of putting naan breads on my legs, not literally. I like the idea of putting naan breads in my mouth. But if we keep all the naan breads on our legs and we keep all the rices up there, then the whole thing would sound a bit like this. I'm going to do a fast tempo just to show you what it sounds like with rices upstairs and naan breads downstairs. See what's happening? So I've just chosen a different part of my body, my legs, to play the naan bread, and I'm still clapping my hands on the rice. Okay, let's see what this other ostinato sounds like. This is the little drummer I've got hiding in the corner behind the camera. Doesn't sound like much. Let me just try that again. No, it's decided not to work today. I'll be right back. I think I've got it working now. So here comes a new ostinato. Let's see what the tempo's like. I'm trying to find the pulse. I think it sounds quite exciting. The tempo isn't that much faster than we've just been doing. So let's see if we can do microphones to start with. We're just going to read through, using our words, read through the whole grid. Ready, steady, off we go. Rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice, naan bread, rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Okay, I'm going to see if I can change the tempo a little bit, because to me that sounds quite fast. That's a bit more like it. So for our final exercise today, we're going to see if we can put rice on the hand claps, naan breads on the legs, and go all the way through this pattern one last time. Ready, steady, off we go.